What's up? It's Variety, your go-to spot for gaming tips and gameplays. If you're jumping into the division in 2025 or been struggling to understand it all, this video is going to change everything for you. I'm going to break down everything that you need to know from the tinkering bench to dominating PvP. And you're like, Variety, what's the tinkering bench? I'm going to tell you. We're talking library mechanics, optimization secrets, gear sets, farming strategies, clan benefits, and how to crush both PvE and PvP content. Before we dive in, smash that subscribe button and the like button if you want more Division 2 content and gaming guides. Trust me, by the end of this video, you'll go from confused agent to Division 2 pro. Let's get started. All right, first up, the tinkering station. You can either access this by the tinkering bench or just pressing the back button in your gear menu. So I'm gonna do that. So we have library, tinkering, and expertise. So first we're gonna cover tinkering. Probably the most confusing thing for new players, but it's crucial for end game success. Basically what tinkering does, it lets you optimize your gear by re-rolling attributes. So here's what you need to know. Let's say I have this high-end rifle right here, and I want to change the stability to something better, like damage out of cover or crit hit chance. I can do that by recalibrating it, but to recalibrate it, I'm gonna need materials first. You see the green and blue things below all the attributes? You also can check them in your resources, but how you get these is from deconstructing gear, completing activities, and your daily projects. How to access your daily projects, you just press the back button and go to projects, and they're all right there. All right, second tip that I have for you guys is focus on your main build first. Like, you want to optimize, or you want to tinker. I might say optimize throughout the video, but it's all the same thing. They all tie into each other. But don't waste your materials on random pieces. Like, only re-roll the pieces that you're gonna use. Like, I re-roll only the stuff I'm gonna use, like my main gear sets. Pretty simple, but do it for the fun of it, to test it out. Don't do that. Just roll your main gear first, and then you can do other stuff. But basically pick one build, perfect it, and then move on. Some pieces have terrible rolls, like this one. I don't really need I don't need this gear piece, like this bonus set, because I don't do any skill-based damage. I'm more of a DPS guy, so I would just deconstruct this. So you can deconstruct it by pressing the right stick, or you can deconstruct by pressing LT, and it'll make a little trash can, and you can press RT and it'll destroy all of it. So I'm not gonna do that. And here's a pro tip most guys won't tell you. Make sure you check the rolls on your gear, because some rolls are just terrible, like all of them, and it won't be worth the materials in the long run. You'll just better off farming for a better drop. Let's head to the library, which is in the same place. Basically, library system is a blueprint collection that unlocks you find better gear. So let's say I have a rifle that does 15% rifle damage. I don't have any of that track, but let's say, see how my huntsman has 10% damage out of cover? I can extract that to my library and it will save. Like, it will save the attribute, and it works for all weapons, all gear sets. But the downside, it destroys that item. So for me, the huntsman, I use it, so I'm not gonna destroy it. But these random guns, you can like this one. It's a perfect example. I didn't re-roll anything on it. This would be a god roll, but I don't really use this gun. It has a pretty good talent, but I just don't use it. You also can put talents in your library. So, for example, extract talents from your guns that you get from farming, and just extract them. It will save, but it will destroy the weapon or the item that you're extracting from. But here's the key to the library. You want to pick up everything. Even if it's trash, each piece potentially updates your library with better rolls. So me personally, I pick up everything when I'm farming. so I can fill out like all these talents and all these attributes. Like it's a lot of stuff. Like it'll probably take a new player, it'll probably take like a month. Like I've been playing for like 2 weeks now, and I have most of it filled out, so I'm like halfway there. So the library is accessed through the crafting bench, and you can see all your saved attribute ranges and use them to craft new gear. This is especially important for creating optimized builds without relying on RNG drops. So like basically god roll drops. I usually just farm until I get like a somewhat god roll drop. I don't really craft, but you can do that. There's a lady in the White House that you can buy blueprints from. Let's talk optimization. This is the difference between good players and great players. So if you're getting killed in PvP content, like their build is probably better than yours. Like not a diss, but it is. You don't just want to stack damage. Look how your talents and your attributes and gear work together. Like for example, striker. I get stacks because of a 4-piece bonus, so my damage increases as I'm shooting. And then I get an assault rifle damage, so I'm using the St. Elmo's. The assault rifle gives me 10% bonus damage, and then the Seska knee pads give me 8% crit chance. So this works together. Like all this stuff works together. When optimizing your weapons, prioritize weapon damage and critical hit damage for DPS builds. For tank builds, focus on armor and health. Skill builds, skill tier is everything. Third, take your build into the firing range, which I was at before. It's located in the White House. It is right here, like in the back. And you can either pick range, DPS, accuracy, or AoE. I usually use DPS because that's just what I use. I don't really need to use any range or anything like that. Test your builds before taking them out in the combat. So basically before PvP and PvE content. And by that, I mean like missions and like the dark zone. Like you want to test your build before you go into the dark zone, especially because you will get clapped if you don't. Here's the thing I didn't know. Learn the damage formula. So weapon damage multiplies with critical hit damage. Plus additive bonuses like weapon type damage have diminishing returns. So next I'm going to dive into gear sets. The main gear sets I run are Heartbreaker, Striker, and Umbra. This is because I run mainly DPS/tank. I don't run support or anything like that. I don't really know how any of that works, but I'm more of a PvP guy, personally. I do run PvE, but that's just for farming. If you do want to know how to run raids and incursions, like, efficiently, I will make a video on that. Just let me know down in the comments. But gear sets, let's go to a different gear set. So Umbra, like I said before, make sure your build works together. For my build specifically, I'm running the Umbra capacitor build. So basically what Umbra is a rat build. So I basically hide and then I pop out and I just melt you. It's basically what it is. If you're running solo and you want to try out this build, I would farm Umbra. We'll get to that later in the video. I'll show you how to put targeted loot on and all that stuff. But yeah, every gear set has a bonus. Like Umbra's 4-piece bonus. All in cover gain 10 stacks per second up to 50. Each stack will give 1.2 critical hit damage and increase RPM by 4% or 0.44%. Buff does not apply when shooting from cover, so you have to be out of cover for this bonus to apply. I didn't even know this. While out of cover and in combat, gains 10 stacks per second up to 50. Each stack will give 0.8% armor regen when consumed. I didn't even know that. I thought it just was DPS. That's probably why I've been rolling through everybody. And my build isn't even fully optimized. Like, I'm still trying to get my materials and all that stuff. So here's the thing about gear sets. You need to build around them completely. Don't mix and match randomly. Commit to a set bonus and build everything around it. So like my striker build, for example, I have gear pieces that fit with that build, and my Umbra build, I have pieces that fit with that build, and weapons, talents, all that stuff. If you don't have everything that you want it, get it as close as you can and just rock with that for a while until you just find a new piece. All right, next is farming strategies. For gear farming, run targeted loot areas. So all this stuff, each area has a little symbol, and that is the loot that it will drop in that area. Check your maps daily, because these do change. If you need an SMG or an assault rifle, go to the area with the assault rifle or SMG logo. If you need a certain piece for a gear set, go to where that gear set is. So the summit is really good for farming because you can actually specifically pick out what you're trying to like have drop. So me, I was farming Umbra, so I picked Umbra on the list. I'll show you. So this is the list. It's where you can pick. You can pick everything. Like if you want an assault rifle drop, whether that be high-end or exotic, you can pick the assault rifle. And this is really like, this is the farming method, is summit and countdown. Those are the two best methods. I usually run them on legendary. If you're not there yet with your gear, I would run them on challenging or heroic. And that's basically it for gear farming. For experience farming, I would run bounties. So like in the Brooklyn DLC, for example, you can run around when you just like wipe out a group of NPCs like roaming the streets, like above, it'll drop a bounty. You can do that. It'll mark a point on the map and you just go to it and just complete it. And then you can also wipe out the control points. I have all of them completed already, so I can't show you, but basically a control point is like where the NPCs control like a certain area of the map and you have to run through it. It brings a few waves of NPCs and you just kill them and it gives you XP and a loot room that you can access, and it gives you gear, which also helps with your optimization, just saying. Next is exotic farming. For me, I like to use the dark zone. Oh my god. For me, I like to use the dark zone. That's where I got most of my exotics, like the coyote's mask that I have. I got it from the dark zone. I got both of mine from the dark zone, like first try. And you can also do raids and incursions. How to do that is, so you want to go to matchmake. This is really easy for solo players, and you can literally do everything. You can do incursions, you can do raids. I wouldn't recommend it. I would recommend it doing it with a group or like some people that you know, so you guys have chemistry, because some of the missions are actually difficult. But like I was talking about earlier, you can matchmake summits or countdown. This menu is really, really good for solo players. Like if you're bored and you want to farm, matchmake summit on whatever difficulty you want. When you guys are doing these missions, make sure you guys are always running it on challenging minimum, because make sure you guys are always running it on challenging minimum, because the harder it is, the better rolls the loot drops. Like if you run it on normal, your rolls will be like god awful. If you run it on legendary, you'll get god rolls like all the time, most of the time. But pick your death with that. It's up to you. Whatever you can handle, just go with it. All right, next we're gonna go to the clan interface. So when I first got on the game, the first thing I did was join a clan. No BS, because I didn't know shit about this game at all. I played the first one. The first one is nothing like this game, not even close. The reason why I stopped playing this game at first, when it first came out, like 8 years ago or whatever it was, is because there is so much stuff to do in this game, and it just like overwhelmed me. That's why I'm making this video. It's for me, like 8 years ago, but in 2025. Joining a clan isn't just social, it's strategic. Like my clan runs raids all the time. They drop me gear all the time. If you're a new player, your clan will help you out like 9 times out of 10. You also get weekly projects from clans. You get weekly caches from clans. Like there's a lot of benefits in being in a clan. Even though my clan is full of old heads, like they help me out like a lot. But my tip Find an active clan. I would find a clan in your time zone, because then you'll just be playing by yourself if you're not in their time zone. If they're 5 hours ahead of you, like how most of my clan is, you're most of the time going to be playing by yourself. A dead clan will give you no benefits, so make sure you join an active clan. All right, let's move along to PvP basics. This I can show you because I love PvP. I wish I could do it all the time, but the dark zone is dead most of the time, and no one in my clan likes the PvP. So if y'all like the PvP, hey, add your boy. I'll run that shit. By going into the dark zone or doing conflict. There's a lady that opens up the conflict menu like under the pilot at the White House, and then you get into a game. There's TDM, skirmish, which is like a life-based game mode, and there's domination. If you play COD, you know what domination is. It's basically where you capture an objective. There's A, B, and C objective, and yeah, it's fun. It's 44. It's low intensity. There's no risk. Like, you won't lose your stuff, and there's no shade levels. There's everything. I wouldn't say it's even, because some people's gear is better, but there's no like bonuses in conflict. In the dark zone, you want to get them shade levels up. That's what I'm trying to do, because I'm tired of dying. I'm tired of killing 2 people and then getting slapped by the last dude because I don't have shade levels. But PvP in Division 2 is way different from PvE. Your PvE build probably won't work in PvP, like whether it's conflict or dark zone. In conflict mode, learn the maps, spawn points, map control wins the games mostly. Whoever has the best positioning is probably going to win the game. If you want to get a team, I would do that. I would recommend that. I run it by myself because I get bored. I get dropped, pussy. The Division 1's coming out of me. Damn it, bro.
Hostile Stinger Hive detected.
Yeah, that's PvP in a wrap. My build is for PvP. It also can transition to PvE, but yeah, that's that. PvP builds can transition into PvE. PvE cannot transition into PvP. Got that? All right. For PvE content, basically, it's really simple. Just knowing where the enemy is going to come from and pre-position for easy kills. Focus on priority targets, medics, engineers first, then heavy gunners, and then regular NPCs. For legendary difficulty, coordination is everything. I was running legendary with my clan like earlier in Summit, and we were just getting rolled because one guy was just pushing up too far, and then the whole team would just collapse. Like, the AIs would like literally surround us. But yeah, you should have designated roles and stick to them, especially when you're in a clan. And there you guys have it. Everything you need to know to dominate in Division 2 as a new player. Remember this game rewards patience and planning over rushing in and guns blazing. I'll see you guys in the next video. It's been Vuriety. Peace.